Guys, go. Let's double check the markets here. We're seeing nice wicks to the bottom on AXS. It's basically shaking weekends out. Sideways consolidation. I would say that this is, at the end of the day, horizontal resistance. We are seeing lower highs, so this does qualify as a descending triangle formation. It technically, a descending triangle formation has a 75% chance of breaking down, 25% chance of breaking up. So it could go either way. It's just got a higher likelihood of breaking down. I would like to see it break down, retest the $11 to $10 range, and then go further up. That would give us the best chance to break through $14 and continue higher. We like right now, we still have that chance to break out here at the top. There's always fake outs. So breaking this line doesn't necessarily mean that we would break up. You want, like, I would say, the 4-hour candle to close above that line or below this line to have confidence in the price to keep on going up or going down. I would actually bring, looking at the 4-hour chart, you could bring this down to see where the other candles have closed. And this way you'd know if a 4-hour candle closes above this line, it would probably lead to more upside. Same goes if a 4-hour candle closes below this line, it will probably go down to retest. But there's support sitting between $11 and $10, and there's a little bit of resistance still left at $14. We've already entered into the resistance range for AXS. And that has rejected us. So now we are pulling back, building up momentum to attempt to break through it. RON looks like it also did a pullback. So we drew this line. I'm going to zoom in a bit. We're on the 4-hour now, going to the 15-minute. Drew these two lines at when we had the second top year and the second bottom year. And so far, the price has stayed in this channel. It rejected at the top of the channel for a third time, and now it's bouncing on the bottom of this channel for a third time. So we're continuing to stay in this range. Same rules here. If the candle closes above it, we're expecting higher. If it closes below, we're expecting lower. In the meantime, we're expecting it to jump back and forth in between these two lines. You can do the same for the 4-hour. Make sure that bodies, you can adjust this so that the bodies barely touch the line and that wicks could go through the line. And then you'd make the rule, I guess, just to be safe, keep this a parallel channel. And if a 4-hour candle closes above that line, you can take a bullish entry for a breakout trade, or if it closes below this line, you take a bearish trade. But you need to wait for the 4-hour candle to close. A lot of the times it only closes once it's broken out by a lot. Then it's obviously not as a profitable trade. A perfect trade would be that the candle barely closes below or above that line. That would give you a nice entry because you would have your stop loss when the price comes back into the channel. Actually just below it, or you would not have a stop loss and actually see how that candle closes before you make any decisions. But we're still on trend, still in the uptrend. We just bounced off the bottom of the channel. Then we've got SLP. SLP did break this little small downwards channel that it was in. You could say it broke out and it's retesting what was resistance, now acting as support. You could also readjust these lines to form this descending triangle that I was talking about. Well, not really. I would say that it still broke out and now it's falling back in. But I am zoomed in a little bit much here, but we are trying to analyze this specific consolidation. So at the back here we did break out at 4.48 cents, going to 83 cents, and we back tested. That's what's nice about this. We already back tested the breakout point, so I don't think with a big wick, so I don't think we'll see, we won't see 50 cents or 0.5 cents again. I think we're waiting. Sideways movement builds up support, or strengthens the support, so once we do break higher, we don't have to come back down to these prices. These prices are being tested the longer we go back and forth here. But I would still remain patient here. What would make me bullish is if we get close to these highs again, because either we're breaking through, making new local highs, or we're on our way to form an ascending triangle. 75% chance of breaking up, but we're still waiting for a second low. At the moment we're making lower lows, and I would say that we're still making lower highs. So we're still on our way into a pullback, waiting for the second bottom, connecting those lines, and then we can draw some kind of ascending triangle formation that we're awaiting to break to the upside. And that is it for SLP, RON and AXS. Take a quick look at Pixels. Pixels, I believe, is still heading down to retest the previous high at 70 cents. That would be a perfect buyback if we can get back to 70 cents, especially if we do it in one big fast move. If we do it very slowly, there's a chance that we could go lower. But if you see a big red candle going all the way to 70 cents, that would be a nice bet. Potentially turn around, go up, and never come back down to 70 cents. Same, that is what RON basically did, doing a back test from its breakout point. So the breakout point was here at $3.60. It broke out, came back, and back tested the previous high, and now it just keeps on going higher. Quick glance at Bitcoin, because Bitcoin controls the market. If Bitcoin's going to take a big dump, so is the rest of the markets. I do believe Bitcoin will still keep on going up for the next week to 2 weeks, even longer. I think we are heading to 80k at least in the next couple of weeks. When Bitcoin moves sideways, in general, the rule is that the rest of the coins move, but when Bitcoin does big moves, the rest of the coins either move sideways or dumps as people go back into Bitcoin. We still see Bitcoin dominance. If I zoom out on the Bitcoin dominance chart, so this is not the Bitcoin dominance chart, there's the Bitcoin dominance chart. Still have a way to go. We're still on our way to, I would say, because right now we're in open air. We're in open air consolidating, and I do expect Bitcoin dominance to still go up to 57%. We're currently sitting at 53.6%. So as Bitcoin dominance goes up, Bitcoin will go up more than most of the altcoins would. So it's still at the moment a safer bet, a more profitable bet to bet on the Bitcoin. Even though the altcoins do here and there have more potential, it's a much safer bet to stay in Bitcoin until we reach 57 to 60% dominance. And Ethereum is probably just lagging behind, doing exactly the same thing that Bitcoin is doing. This is a massive time frame. We're moving sideways overall. This is ETH BTC. So Ethereum versus Bitcoin. This was back in June 2023. We broke out of this trend line, kind of heading down. Reached the support that was the same, coincide with the bottom of June 2022, and that bounced the price. But every time we hit this line, chance of ETH BTC going down. So currently I would say you'd rather want to be in Bitcoin over Ethereum, looking at this long-term time frame. But this could have been a long-term fake out that goes back. A lot of the times it does happen like that, where it fakes out to the one side and then ends up going into the opposite direction. So this is kind of too late to actually take a position in this. We've already broken out there. Once you broke out there, it was kind of obvious that we would go lower. I'm not sure how much lower, since we did hit a nice support there. This could be the bottom. I don't see the volume supporting that as being a turnaround point. I think you still want to be in Bitcoin over Ethereum at this stage. And you can see that in the charts, Ethereum has yet to reach its previous all-time high, whereas Bitcoin is now in open air, making new all-time highs. Nothing's holding down the price. Over here, people that bought Ethereum at the top, once the price reaches there, that's why this will act as resistance. People that bought that top and for some reason still kept on holding on, they would be inclined to sell once they reach the break-even point. They've been sitting through a lot of pain, and that would relieve them of their pain. So that's why that is acting as resistance that might reject the price still, whereas Bitcoin has open air. If we go high enough, we can almost be confident that we won't see lower, we won't get back down. The previous all-time high would then act as support, and people would buy into that support, and we would probably not see a price lower than the previous all-time highs, just meaning that the bull market started early this cycle. But I think the time frame is still ongoing to make its final high at the end of next year. So there's still a lot of time left for the markets to go up. Okay guys, thank you all for being here. Any requests,